Good evening, friends. Welcome to the India Power Talk. India Power Talk is a knowledge sharing initiative. We invite international thought leaders and domain experts to share their insights, experiences, and strategies related to business and economy. Today, we will talk about international business based on Italian craftsmanship. To talk about this fascinating topic, it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Cesare Verona, President and CEO of the Italian company Aurora Pens, internationally leading manufacturer of highest quality writing instrument. Welcome, Dr. Verona. It's pleasure to have you on India Power Talk. Dr. Verona, you became CEO of Aurora in 2010. Could you talk something interesting about Aurora Pens, and then what ambitions did you have for the company when you took the full leadership then?
2008 were challenging year, Lehman Brothers. And I basically bought back the company from my father, my mother, and my sister, becoming the old shareholder and the sole shareholder of the company 100%. From that moment, I had the opportunity to try to reshape a company which had an incredible heritage, but also needed some tuning, like the car, that sometimes you need a good guy to fix it up. So first 2008, 2009, 2010 were real difficult years. We have to restructure the company, to rethink the value chain, to reshape all the flow in the manufacturing. We had to reshape also the mentality of the people. So we basically redesigned completely the floor. We have digitalized all the production.
I see.
And we have introduced a lean approach. It was a complete change of mind to place the working capital where it was needed and to use the cash and the financial means for the development of the company. And people are asking me very often, what was the most difficult part? Was it the market? Was it the market disruption, Lehman Brothers, digitalization, whatsoever? I always answer that the most difficult part was to change the mentality of the people. The ambition was to change the company, to make it more international, to make it more efficient, to make it profitable.
When you talk of changing the mindset of people, your manufacturing processes clearly demands an extremely high skill level and commitment to quality. Now, my question is, how do you train your craftspeople and cultivate the right mindset in them? Because they are artists at the end of the day.
Absolutely. This is a good question, and this is one of the key points. Because when I arrived, average age was around 55 to 60. So we had a lot of experienced people, but we had no younger people to teach them the experience of the people who were living. So we had to try to blend between the youth and the new people coming and the experience of the others. So we are trying to have a program. So now the average age in Aurora is around 35. Okay, but I always say that we need people with white hairs. The reason why is because I have white hair, so I'm scared that they want to fire me. And the second part is because I think that between the youth and the open mind of the youngster and a little bit of the experience of the elders, you find a good blend of where to conduct the business. This is one. The second part, which is exactly what you're asking, is how to put together maybe a girl or a boy nearby the master, because in the Rinascimento, in the 14th century, in the 13th century, in the 15th century, in Italy, they said that the maestro was doing the masterpiece, il capolavoro. The masterpiece was the blend of the experience of that man or that woman, but let's say man, that was conveying all his skills, all his savoir-faire, all the experience into one object. So I have to try to put the same story and the same feeling, the same tension to the younger, to learn from the elder how to do less mistakes, how to get the tricks of the business and the tricks of their let's say their work. And this is very, very important. We have a program and a project that usually we have one or two key points in the company, and we have 2 years before, we have person which are living day by day nearby the elder craftsman to learn. That's key. That's key.
Now, clearly, Aurora is known for the exclusivity in writing instruments. Now, uh, it would seem like a rather a narrow and niche market. Mm. Now, my question is, how do you achieve such a spectacular export growth with such a narrow and niche market?
Well, I have to say, it's true, it's a niche. It's not a high phone market, but it's also true. And if I may say, it is also considered, how you say, unconventional product. I always use an expression in Italian, which can be, I think, translated in English, saying that pen, the fountain pen, so la penna stilografica, is controintuitiva. It's counterintuitive, means that when my father passed the company, he was saying, well, we have no future of the pen. It will be very hard. There will be digitalization. It's going to be a struggle. You will not survive, blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking and telling to my father, Father, I'm thinking about a different positioning of the pen, about a product that is giving emotions. It helps to write. Of course, there are less opportunity to write in this right moment in the world, but it's not so true because pandemia has proven that in reality, I will tell you some story later maybe. So to say that pen is still in the mind of the people, in the hands of the people, because we are human, so we have hands to put a sign. And so we have tried to create the added value, the correct added value, the story of our company, the story of Italy. You have correctly said that Italy is one of the most important manufacturing nation of the world. If you take off the cars, if you have apart from Germany, I mean, Italy is number one. So people have the mind to create objects. So to convey that ability into a product has been the first step. Second step has been to have a strategy.
Yes.
And then a lot of work, I have to say. I mean, things doesn't come, for free. And we have been traveling. I have been personally traveling up to 220 days a year, which basically sometimes you are in a hotel and you don't even know where you are. and so a lot of work and putting together beauty, quality, storytelling, craftsmanship. Well, that has helped us a lot to tell the story of Aurora Pens. So we have started from a bare 3% of export. We are now exporting around 80% of our 75, 78, 80% of our activity. I say growth, it's people, it's method, it's management, it's traveling a lot, talking to people, and getting people to know what is a beautiful object.
But just a short question along with this: which country is the major market for your pens?
Well, apart from Italy, we have about 25% in Europe.
Mhm.
We have about 50% between Middle East and Far East. So the answer is the Far East,
Okay.
China, Japan, Korea, and so on. And then we have about 30% in America. So we are quietly well, let's say, balanced,
Balance.
but we still have a lot of markets that we would like to reach.
Now, the grandfather of digital age, Marshall McLuhan, I mean, he had wrote once that every innovation makes something obsolete. Now, but also brings back something else, something new. Now, how do you see the role of fine instruments, particularly in the times when people communicate by email and text messages? And how do you see that happening?
I always say that, like for the umbrella, they have not found a better object to protect from rain. I really hope that pens will still remain a good way of expressing your personality and your way of living. It can be just a quick note. It can be your signature. It can be a love letter. It could be something different. So I feel that, by the way, this pandemic have proven that people loves to write. We are sponsoring, like Aurora, as Aurora, we are sponsoring literature
Mhm.
contest, poems contest, and so on. Believe it or not, we have like 3-4 times the usual attendant that are being, let's say, sending what is their creation. So pandemia, I think, has put in the people to think what is important in life,
Yes.
what are the values, how to communicate, how to share, how to be close to the people. So people have started to write a lot, much more than before.
Yes.
So I see that the pen has been proven to be dead many times. When the first computer arrived, when the first digitalization arrived, I think it's gonna survive. I really hope that Mr. Marshall McLuhan was thinking about products which can be right, but I really hope that fountain pen will still be alive, and this is the reason why I want to pass this company to the generation number 5, number 6, number 7, and so on.
No,
Like the winery,
you
like
are
the winery, like the winery, good wine. Just take a little sip. You don't have to get drunk. You can still enjoy.
No, I fully agree with you, and this pandemic has really transformed the world into more human, I would say, I'm seeing that honestly, as you rightly mentioned, people are communicating, people want to talk, want to write, want to express themselves, and they want to express themselves the traditional way and not the mechanical way. Uh,
Exactly.
what you are saying is absolutely right, and I personally don't see pen or pencil, or for that matter, any writing instrument where we express ourselves dying so easily and also so early, if I may say that way. You are involved in the sign, the museum dedicated to writing, and the sign people make. Now, could you talk about this institution and the initiative, what it has?
Well, Officina della Scrittura, because that's the name. Officina means craftsman of writing. Okay, was a crazy idea that I had in mind before joining the company. I wanted to create something like, for the watch, the concept of time, not a museum of Rolex or the Marpiguet. And the idea is to give back. So in a very, let's say, Anglo-Saxon way, I feel that I am truly happier, more fortunate than many, many, many of my companions. And so I wanted to give back to the city, to the people, to the lovers. And I said to myself, well, I'm also a collector. Why should I keep my collection inside my house or inside a bank? Why not put together a project that would touch school, which
Mhm.
touch designer, which touch collectors, and put it together? So in Aurora, we have created a large museum of 4,000 meters square, which is quite large. It's about 40,000 square foot, 50,000 square foot, where all the school can come. They understand how the sign was born from the moment where the men have put in the hand on a rock in a cave, from the design. And then inside there is a part of the history and heritage of Aurora, but there is also art gallery where we support artists. There is an area where we have dinners inside with machinery. There is an area where we do a presentation of books. So we have a restaurant inside. So it's like a small city where people are coming to enjoy their time. And we have people that have been coming from Korea, from New Zealand, just because of passion of writing. And you have so many designers, and it gives you the connection of what is happening. So more than 30,000 people have been coming, paying a ticket and getting to Officina della Scrittura. So I'm very happy and proud about this.
As you know, India has a growing luxury good industry aimed at both domestic and sales and exports also. Now, what advice would you give to Indian companies in this sector? I mean, because you are working in really a niche segment in India, there is a lot of Indian craftsmanship and a lot of niche products which are looking at external market.
I would put history and heritage first, because you have craftsmanship, you have jewels, you have the Maharaja, you have the story of beauty in your country. So 1,000, you have color and you have variety. I've been crossing India and by car and seeing so many variety of colors, of people, of languages, which unfortunately I was not able to understand. But this is the heritage. I would say that somebody who wants to take something from India to other country should put together that. And of course, keeping in mind that it's something done by the hands of man, and trying to avoid to become too serial. It has not to be a mass market approach.
But my question to you more is that, in India, we have around 6 million of startups, and these are, India is a young country. And these startups are really hungry for growth, hungry for technology, hungry for finance, for niche products, and also expanding to global markets. Now, how would you see, and I'm again going back to the first point which you mentioned, that how do you replace the old generation or the old thought process? Now, what advice would you really give? Because we have a lot of young entrepreneurs here. They'll be very interested to know from you, what advice would you give to them to really excel in what they're doing?
I see that many of the startups have the same idea of sharing a service on an area and giving that with technology to be accessible.
Making it available in mass.
Exactly. To me, which my mind is, create maybe a pen of 300,000 euro, only one. Well, it's completely different mindset. So
what you made a very interesting point. I must say, what comes out from you, Dr. Verona, is that and currently, and this is a trend which I am seeing. Majority of, or rather most of the startups, if they have a business idea or a product or a service, they want to quickly scale up. Versus what you are trying to point out, and what you are trying to say is, create a niche, create something which is unique, which is also another way of looking at a business. Because as I see, currently, literally all the technology companies, they look to expand, they look to just exponentially grow in terms of numbers. They are more geared towards expanding the project, the product, the platform, the customers, and everyone. Whereas your approach seems to be, and which is to my mind, a very path-breaking approach, and could be a very well advised to the young entrepreneurs. as to while size is something, yes, but quality, niche, or specialization also is an important element.
Exactly, because my thinking is that technology is giving you the opportunity to scale up.
Yes.
But technology is, let's say, available in an easy way to everybody. So you can have the neighbor who get a just little bit better idea, and he's going to scale up twice or three times your speed.
Okay, let me ask you a completely different question, Dr. Verona. Uh, in 2008, when you took over Aurora, your pen company, if I was to turn the time back and put you back in that position, what is the one product that you think you would have wanted to work on or redesign? Not the pen, something else.
I'm a watch lover. Usually, people who likes watches like pens and vice versa. And honestly, I have not been thinking where I would go unless the driver would be beauty. So my driver is beauty. And sometime, if you would have the opportunity to come to Torino, I hope soon to Italy and to Torino, and this is
I visited Turin in 1996.
okay, but it's a very different city,
Sure.
and a better city. But anyway, so if you will have the opportunity, I hope, and other people who are listening to our talk can come to our company, to Aurora Manufacture, you would see a sense of beauty. And when you are being educated to that since generation, you can see the nice and you can suffer for what is not in harmonia or harmonic to the people. So the shapes, I mean, when you see like a nice palace of the Maharaja, you see beauty because you see the proportion, you see the story, you see the heritage, you can imagine the life there. So I'm very happy to be in this kind of field. And I think that Italians, because of the Rinascimento, because of Firenze, because of Lucca, because of Venezia, because we are walking into beauty every single day. And this makes a difference to Americans. I don't want to be rude to people from Finland or from Sweden and so on. We are used to beauty. And so maybe we don't understand why, but Italy is the let's say the place where luxury together with France is born, and it's not by chance. It's because of our heritage. And I'm happy to be here. I'm very proud to be Italian, but also happy to have a nice dress on, express myself in some way. It's a way of life. It's a way of thinking. It's maybe people from Korea will think in a different way, but or Australia, they want to go wild. I don't feel that necessity. I need a nice pair of shoes, or I don't know.
Great. On that really beautiful note, Dr. Verona, let me thank you for your valuable time and insights. It was great talking to you. Before I conclude, I would like to thank your organization for arranging this talk in such a short notice. Along with that, I would like to thank the Tech Plus Academy, Indian Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Indian Chamber of Commerce, LawSikho, and the Indian SME Accelerator Network for supporting this Power Talk. Let me conclude with an humble prayer to the Almighty to bestow mankind with the right spirit to fight the coronavirus and restore peace, prosperity, well-being, and beautiful things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nitid, and thank you to India Power Talk. Ciao from Italia.